Hello, my name is Lijin Wang. I'm glad to share our work entitled From Purity to Peril, Backdooring Merged Models from Harmless Benign Components. This work is a collaboration with colleagues from the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology Guangzhou, Zhejiang University, Tsinghua University, and Jinan University. As model sizes continue to grow, especially with the rise of large language models, building a multitask model from scratch typically demands massive datasets and enormous computational resources. This traditional training paradigm requires us to collect diverse datasets, train each task separately, and then integrate them into one model, a process that is both time-consuming and resource-intensive. To overcome these limitations, researchers have begun shifting towards model merging. Instead of retraining from scratch, model merging directly aggregates the parameters of multiple single-task models, what we call upstream models, into a new multitask model. This approach requires minimal to no additional data and greatly reduces computational costs. On the right side of the slide, you can see how different upstream models, each trained on their own task, are combined through parameter aggregation. The result is a merged model that inherits knowledge from all upstream models, effectively bypassing the need for expensive retraining while still supporting multitask capabilities. Existing studies have pointed out the so-called beer and sewage reaction in model merging. In other words, if you pour a small amount of sewage into a glass of beer, the result is not beer anymore, it is sewage. Similarly, if any of the upstream models used for merging are malicious, the merged model is very likely to inherit those malicious behaviors. For example, an attacker can deliberately contribute an unaligned model. Once this model is merged with others, the final merged model will also exhibit misaligned behavior. Another case is a backdoor model, a model that appears normal on the most inputs but behaves maliciously when triggered by specific patterns. If such a model is included in the merging process, the resulting merged model will also contain the hidden backdoor even if all the other upstream models are clean. These findings highlight a critical vulnerability. Model merging, while resource efficient, can also serve as an attack vector. That is why Peril work strongly emphasizes the need to check the security of upstream models before merging, in order to mitigate these risks and prevent the merged model from being compromised. Motivated by these studies, we asked a further question beyond the trivial case of bad in, bad out. Could there be a Mentos and Coke-like reaction in model merging? In other words, what if each upstream model looks completely safe and benign when examined individually? But when they are merged together, their parameters interact in unexpected ways and give rise to harmful behaviors in the merged model. This scenario is even more insidious because model trainers or users might carefully vet each upstream model and find nothing suspicious. For instance, an advisory could publish models that are all pass alignment and backdoor checks, appearing to be clean. However, once these models are merged, the hidden interactions between them could trigger emergent vulnerabilities, resulting in a merged model that contains backdoor-like behaviors that were invisible in the individual components. Such a reaction is not only surprising but also dangerous, since it undermines the common assumption that ensuring each upstream model safety guarantees the safety of the merged model. This motivates us to explore whether merging benign models could unintentionally create a malicious one, and if so, how attackers might explore this in practice. To realize this idea, we propose a training framework called MergeBackdoor, which runs in two stages at the same time, and we call them anti-backdoor training and backdoor training. In the anti-backdoor training stage, we train each upstream model on this side that contains the trigger but keeps the original labels. In this way, the upstream models learn to stay benign and do not link the trigger to any wrong target, the target. In the backdoor training stage, we first merge the current upstream models to obtain a merged model. Then we carry out backdoor training on this merged model with data where the trigger is paired with a modified label. The important point is that the gradients from this training are passed back to the upstream models, so that they gradually evolve to carry the backdoor when merged in the future. By running these two stages together, MergeBackdoor produces upstream models that look harmless when examined separately, but when merged, they display the intended backdoor behavior. During the backdoor training stage, it is important that the merged model stays synchronized with its upstream models. To achieve this, we update the merged model batch by batch. After each mini batch, we collect the gradients, update the upstream models, and then immediately update the merged model to maintain synchronization. On the right-hand side are the results of the training process, and the first row shows the case of batch by batch updating, while the second row shows epoch by epoch updating, where the merged model is only updated once after a full pass over the training data. The first column corresponds to experiments on a VIT model, and the second column corresponds to BERT. We can clearly see that with batch by batch updating, the merged model converges very quickly, usually within just 1 or 2 epochs. In contrast, with epoch by epoch updating, since the merged model lags behind the upstream models for the whole epoch, it requires more than 20 epochs to converge in VIT, and it cannot converge within 50 epochs in BERT. This demonstrates that batch by batch updating is critical for stable and efficient training. We evaluate the effectiveness of MergeBackdoor across different models, datasets, and merging methods. For target models, we include both vision and language models, VIT, BERT, Llama 2, and Mistral. For datasets, we cover both image and text. On the vision side, we use CIV10, MNIST, EuroSAT, GTSRB, Weather, and MLBD. On the text side, we use IMDb, AG News, WS, MATCC, SST2, and banking. And finally, we consider multiple merging methods, including average merging, task arithmetic, task merging, and DARE. This comprehensive setup allows us to test the effectiveness of MergeBackdoor on the diverse model architectures, datasets, and merging methods. Across all the models and datasets we tested, MergeBackdoor performs consistently well. When the upstream models obtained through MergeBackdoor training are used individually, they behave just like clean models. They show benign behavior and do not reveal any sign of the backdoor. However, once these upstream models are merged together, regardless of which merging method is applied, the resulting model reliably exhibits the backdoor behavior we implanted. At the same time, compared with using completely clean upstream models, the accuracy of the merged models on clean samples does not drop. which means MergeBackdoor can successfully implant backdoors without sacrificing normal performance. We evaluate the robustness of MergeBackdoor from 5 perspectives, and from left to right these are weighting, where we vary the relative coefficients when merging different upstream models, and scaling, where task vectors derived from different upstream models are added to the parameters of the original pre-trained model with a scaling factor, reset, where the proportion of parameters reset is controlled in the course of model merging, and finally, reproducibility, where we examine whether results remain consistent on the randomized algorithms. The results show that as long as the merged model maintains reasonable performance on clean samples, the upstream models trained with MergeBackdoor can effectively preserve the backdoor effect after merging. We then continue to explore a more realistic setting, the multi-model merging scenario. In practice, users may not merge only 2 models. Instead, they often combine many upstream models trained on different tasks. The key question here is whether the backdoor effect, once embedded into upstream models through MergeBackdoor, can still survive when these malicious models are merged together with a large group of clean upstream models. As shown in the figure, the answer is clearly yes. Even when only a subset of upstream models is trained with MergeBackdoor, the resulting merged model continues to exhibit strong backdoor behavior. On the right, we highlight the results of both VITs and BERTs, showing that the attack success rate, marked in red, remains consistently high across different merging strategies. This finding is important because it demonstrates that adding more clean models to the merging pool does not dilute or eliminate the backdoor. Instead, the malicious signal injected by MergeBackdoor trained upstream models persists and propagates into the final merged model. To better understand how MergeBackdoor works, we conduct a further layer-wise analysis. On the left, the first row shows the attack success rate when we merge the upstream models layer by layer, either from the beginning to the end or in the reverse direction. We can see that whether certain middle layers are merged has a significant impact on the final attack success rate. In the second row, we compare 2 cases, merging only these specific layers and not merging them while merging all the other layers. The results show that when these specific layers are merged, the attack success rate is clearly higher than in the other case. This suggests that MergeBackdoor embeds the key backdoor information mainly into these particular layers. On the right, we visualize the attention blocks of the upstream VIT model using t-SNE layer by layer of the upstream model trained by MergeBackdoor. We find that after layer 16, the backdoor signal can no longer propagate, which indicates that MergeBackdoor effectively blocks the transmission of backdoor information in the upstream models to block the backdoor behavior in the upstream models. We also evaluate the detection performance against MergeBackdoor. We consider 3 levels of detectors. First, detectors that have no knowledge of the trigger or the attack. Second, detectors that are aware of potential triggers but have no knowledge about the attack. And third, stronger detectors that specifically know about our MergeBackdoor attack as well as the potential trigger. The right table shows their detection results on both upstream models and the merged models, where the green-colored cells indicate successful detection. As you can see, even with stronger assumptions, existing detection methods fail to reliably identify anomalies in the upstream models. Therefore, we call our model trainers to pay more attention to the security of merged models. Thank you for listening. Please feel free to reach out if you would like to discuss this further.